Welcome back to Spiritual School, or welcome if you are new here. And this is where you can come to sharpen your consciousness and experience your desires manifest instantly. So, today we're going to be talking about how to have the best mental diet, how to have the most pristine thoughts going on up here through your subconscious mind to create your own reality in 3D. So you have to look at this as if, and I know a lot of you follow the Sparking Joy, Marie Kondo minimalism as well as me. So you have to look at this as if a thought comes in and it does not spark joy. The sun just came out. If it does not spark joy, like literally the sun has just beamed through the window just as I said that, then it's not getting through. And it just went 111 as well on the camera. If it does not spark joy, the thought that you become aware of, and there's many thoughts that we are not aware of, that's why you have to be highly attuned in to what's going on up here into your mental diet. That's the whole entire point of it, that you attune in, and you can either watch the thoughts and give them no meaning, either way of the narrative, on either side of the narrative, and that's you stepping out of the narrative completely and watching them on either side. Or you can look at the thought that's coming through and say, no, I don't want that side of the narrative. I want it to be wherever you want it to be along that narrative. Because we all have to live in narratives in the 3D. That's the whole point of the human experience, really, is like you just have to. You have to live in narratives. That's life. So a lot of people say, the point is to find out who you really are. Yeah, that too, whatever. It doesn't really matter. Like, there's no point. There's no point. But if you are human, you have to live in narratives. So you have to choose, or you can remove yourself entirely from the narrative and create your own. And be in another narrative, but you're still in a narrative. Whatever you choose, you're still, as a human being, in the 3D. The 3D is basically a whole entire system of narratives. So you have to choose along the scale where you are along this narrative. Once you've picked where you want to be because you've stepped entirely outside of the narrative and you can see the sliding scale of this narrative, there's narratives in every single thing, by the way. Every single area of life, there's narratives. Once you can see what the narratives are that you yourself have been subscribed into, and you can still see this for other people, you can still see this for the systems themselves, you can still see this as a whole, as a collective, whatever. But once you see the narratives that you have been taking part in or subscribing to, then you get to have fun with it, play around with it, change it up, create a new reality for yourself. So when you become aware of the thought, whatever it may be, or you recognize where you are yourself within the narrative, then you get to place no meaning on either side of the thought. Say, for example, really basic, the thought is, I'm good, I'm really bad. I'm good, I'm bad, I'm good, I'm bad, I'm good, I'm bad, I'm good, I'm bad. These are both opposite ends of the exact same narrative. When you remove yourself from that narrative, you can look at both of those things as just a pure consciousness and say there is no good or bad, it just is. Just is. There's no good or bad, it just is. And I can place meaning on the good, on the bad, in a different way from an entirely different perspective in any given moment. So moment to moment to moment is different. You might place something in one moment being good, and then in the next moment you might place something being in the bad category, or you might place something that is of a similar situation being good in one moment, in another moment not being good. Or a person, you might place them in the good category one moment and then bad in the next moment. That's why it's a narrative. That's why you can step outside of it and see, okay, it is what it is. There's no good or bad. But within that narrative, within daily life, you have to be somewhere along it. You have to either stay in the there is no good or bad, which again depends on the situation and the moment itself. Because when I talk a lot about children and you say there's no good or bad, and that's the stance you're coming from, the consciousness and the seeing that, and then so many people jump on it and say, of course there's good or bad. If they do this, it's bad. If they do this, it's good. Yes, we get that. We can see that too. So when you can see all of it as a whole, then you get it. Then you are like knowing what's going on and what we're talking about here. You're not just in that narrative anymore. You've stepped outside of it and you can look at it and see it for what it really is. Then you get to choose to hop back in the narrative whenever you want, at whatever place you want to be within the narrative. So say this is extremely good and this is extremely bad. You get to place yourself wherever you want to be in your perception of the given moment, within any given moment, within that narrative. So if you have a thought that is coming through that is, say, bad, that you want to shift into good about yourself or about a situation or about another person or about your category of life that you want to be looking at, say that is, for example, your kids, your relationship with your children, or your relationship with an SP, or money, or your health, or just your self-concept, manifesting in what it is that you desire, blah, 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 blah. It really doesn't matter. It could be like exam results or something like that, or something that you've really wanted to be manifesting in. Anything. It doesn't matter what the thing is. Once you can see the thought that's coming in for that specific thing, and you can become aware of it because you're following your mental diet. If it does not spark joy, if it's in the bad category scale of the narrative, then you get to turn it around and you get to say, okay, this is what I want the thought to be. This is the exact thought that I want to put through into my subconscious mind, into the processor, and reprogram this computer with, so that it prints out in my 3D reality the exact, precise reality that I desire. That's how it works. It doesn't matter if you don't feel the thought. It doesn't matter if you don't believe the thought. You're simply reprogramming the computer system that's up here. The subconscious mind does not feel. It does not know the difference between what's real and what's not. The subconscious mind doesn't know past, present, future. So whatever you're programming it, whatever you are telling it, and this is why you may have to repeat over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes it's instant. Sometimes the consciousness will just take over and it's boom. Oh yeah, that's a new thought. Oh yeah, I get it now. I can see it. And it's there, and then your 3D reality shifts within within a moment. But sometimes you have to repeat for this thought to actually drop in and go through into your 3D reality. Sometimes, when I was speaking about the shift in consciousness, like, you get it. It's not like it lands within your body, but when you can still manifest this thing within the 3D without having to feel that land in your body, without having to actually believe it, or without having to feel the emotions or feel that you are living in the end. You simply affirm from the end. You simply robotically affirm into your subconscious, and the best way to do this is just to record what it is that you want, as in already having it, or it's already done, it's just normal now. It's just normal. It's just normal that I think this new thought. And you record it on your phone, your own voice, because that's just going to soak up and saturate so much quicker than someone else's voice. You can use your own and someone else's meditations if you like, mix it up, do whatever you want. It really doesn't matter. It's whatever you're telling yourself. If you're telling yourself, yeah, their voice works amazing for me, they help me so much, or my voice is like God of my reality, I'm using my own voice, then that's what you're going to get. That's the 3D that you're going to get. If you're telling yourself, like, this isn't working, this isn't working, this isn't working, then that's what you're going to get. If you're telling yourself, I get my manifestations even when I don't believe it, I get my manifestations even when I don't feel it, then that's what you're going to get, because it's the energetic undertone of that. Someone's phoning me. The energetic undertone of that thought is what you are going to get. So if you don't believe it, you make it not matter that you don't believe it, and then it alchemizes the energetic tone of energy into it aligning for you, because you've made it not matter. Hope this makes sense. Actually, I know this will make sense for you, because you would not be watching if this, you wouldn't be here. Otherwise, if you don't get it, you just wouldn't be watching, unless you're one of those people, you know, that just like to stalk. Anyway, so that's how you do it. That's how you become like the king or queen of your thoughts, and have the best mental diet, is to be highly aware. And this is not hyper aware, it's highly attuned, highly aware of what is going on in here, because you know that whatever is going on in here first will then print out, manifest into your 3D life, into your reality. So you have to change it up here first, regardless of what's going on still out here, until you see it manifest out here. If it's not happening, not happening, not happening, not happening, it does not matter. The same way in which you already understand, majority of you on here, because you will also practice present parenting, which is what I love coaching in. So my phone's just blowing up today with messages and calls. Present parenting is what I love coaching in, what I love teaching, what I love helping people with, the relationship with their kids, because it all starts when you're a child, when we're born into this 3D reality, when we incarnate into this human body. We are pure consciousness, pure soul. The programming up here in the brain and the mind within that part has not started. So the relationship that we have with our parents when we are children is like gold for your mind. So if you have not had that, then you get to do it with your kids. If you've not had that, you get to do it for yourself. You get to reprogram for yourself. Whatever it is, wherever you want to be along that narrative, you get to reprogram that in. It doesn't mean that you have to go along with what everyone else is doing along that narrative with whatever circle you're in either. You can be in a circle that runs by a narrative with the majority of people, and they're all running by that similar narrative, and you can just see what's going on and choose for yourself where, again, on the scale of that you want to be in. You don't have to be in the exact same point of the narrative that they are to fit in, because it's not about that. It's about actually aligning at your core and of your consciousness and what it is that you want to create for yourself, where you want to be within that timeline, or whatever you want to call it, of narrative. So if you want to sign up for my coaching, present parenting coaching, or spiritual school coaching, manifestation coaching, whatever the thing is, relationships within your parenting, with an SP or for just for your self-concept, then please check out the description box below and you can simply email me and we start from there. I do voice note coaching over Voxer app and I find that the best way to quickly reel what it is that is going on for you, and I can reply to you with just the stream of consciousness that pours through, because writing all of that out in an email would take a very long time, and often it's not like you get it instant, so it's like boom, this is it, and it's one sentence and it just pierces straight through whatever belief it is that you are in or the narrative that you are in any given moment. So often it would just be one sentence on email, and I just feel like voice notes just conveys that in a much sharper way. So if you want to sign up, then do that. But if we're looking at, for example, the relationship with your children, then again, I've completely lost my trail of thought because I went off on a tangent. You can reprogram your mind to basically allow yourself to be the best parent that you want to be, and you can have the best relationship with them as well. And I think that is the most important thing, because again, when you're a child, you've got nothing reprogrammed in here yet, and so you get to reprogram that, and you get to offer the most nurturing and healthiest programs that we can access. And it's infinite. It's just, you get to choose. And children will see that and pick up on that. So the undertone of the energy, for example, if you say one thing and the undertone of the energy within that is not in alignment with what you were saying, then it's always the energy that people pick up on. Children are very attuned to this. So I hope I intend for you to find this video very useful and helpful. And thank you so much for being here. I will see you next video. Bye.